Prop 64. They got it wrong again.
The catchphrase for the No on 64 campaign is, "They got it wrong again." That "again" reference refers to Prop 19 that California voters rejected in 2010.
Polling right now shows this at 52%.
Tim Rosales managed the campaign that successfully defeated Prop 19 in 2010. And he says the more people learn about Prop 64, the less they like it.
The fact is, initiatives go down, they don't go up.
Like in 2010, Rosales says the Yes on 64 campaign has plenty of money. They've outraised the No on 64 campaign about 8-1. He says they have the money, but he has the facts.
Well, we've seen in Colorado, where they legalized recreational marijuana, a doubling of children who have been admitted to the ER after accidentally ingesting these edibles.
Edibles and advertising are key to the No on 64 campaign. He worries that kids will see ads for marijuana.
Digital advertisements, etc., newspaper advertisements, billboards specifically written into Prop 64, allowable.
And he worries about Fresno residents living near schools or parks being allowed to grow up to 6 plants inside their homes. He asks who's to say they're not growing more, 60 instead of 6.
Well, who's going to monitor that?
And he worries about too many dispensaries like in some Colorado neighborhoods.
Dispensaries, recreational dispensaries, outnumber Starbucks in certain areas.
The same can be said about the quiet little seaside town of Astoria, Oregon. We drove up there on our visit to Oregon. Their population is only about 10,000, but
we have 6 retail stores, more than we do combined McDonald's and Subways.
Meet Joshua Marquis, District Attorney for Clatsop County. Back in 2014, when Measure 91 was put on the ballot in Oregon, he became the de facto spokesperson against it, and he wasn't alone.
All of Oregon law enforcement, all 36 DAs, all 36 sheriffs, and all the chiefs of police opposed Measure 91.
He was an unlikely opponent speaking out against legalized recreational marijuana because
one of the things I'm proudest of being part of decriminalizing marijuana in 1973. I thought that was a really sensible thing to do.
He points out long before Measure 91,
marijuana has been de facto decriminalized in Oregon for 40 years.
Likewise, in California, medical marijuana has been legal since 1996, and in 2011 we reduced the punishment for possessing less than an ounce of marijuana to an infraction. So why was he against Measure 91?
As somebody in law enforcement, who sees so much pain and suffering as a result of the abuse of legal as well as illegal drugs, I just can't imagine why we'd want to add yet another one. Personally, I really could care less if adults smoke marijuana at home. I just don't want them getting in cars and driving after using it, and I don't want them making it available to, kids.
But looking forward, he's concerned about what's next. There's a push for allowing smoking in public, which is illegal under Measure 91 and Prop 64. Some call them cannabis clubs or cafes.
Not legal yet, but I think they're working towards that. Their argument is, well, where are we supposed to go to smoke it? And the simple answer is, in your home, dummy, where you were supposed to before.
And he worries about a 24-hour self-medicating society.
We don't have any 24-hour dispensaries yet that I'm aware of.
You think that's coming?
Oh, sure, absolutely. There's nothing in the law to prohibit it.
His thoughts on Prop 64?
And as Californians consider this, they need to remember that 46 states and the federal government still consider marijuana a crime.
Tim Rosales agrees and wonders where Fresno's dispensaries will pop up if Prop 64 passes, and if it will hurt already struggling parts of the city.
They're not going to be located necessarily, maybe not in areas like Fig Garden, Van Ness, and Clovis, but in more, areas where you see a higher prevalence of liquor stores and, those types of things.
It's now up to voters to decide if they got it right this time or if they got it wrong again. Now, 5 states will be voting on legalizing recreational marijuana next week, including California, Massachusetts, Nevada, Arizona, and Maine.